Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmania is now officially the only state with 2 city deals, with the Prime Minister making a flying visit to sign the official document in Hobart this morning. $1.43 billion will be injected into our capital city from 3 levels of government over the next 10 years, with a major airport upgrade to support international flights part of the plan.
A momentous morning.
Good morning, because it is a beautiful morning here in Hobart today.
The Prime Minister touching down in Hobart to officially put pen to paper on the historic Hobart City deal. Leaders from 3 tiers of governments gathering to offer their tick of approval.
Done. Well done, man. Good stuff.
Today's signing signals the start of $1.43 billion worth of investments into our capital city.
This isn't a promise, this is an actually funded commitment.
Over the next 10 years, the Commonwealth and state governments, along with local councils, will collaborate to forward and fund projects, working on our Premier's catchphrase to take Tasmania to the next level.
An appropriate moment to celebrate the culmination of a lot of hard work.
What they've tried to bundle into this so-called city deal is a whole heap of re-announcements. There's not a lot of new money in it for Hobart.
While the master plan is for Hobart, the airport is today in the spotlight.
Today we're announcing $82 million to be able to put the security in place, the migration settings in place for people to be able to come in as an international airport.
Along with those international flights which are expected to take off from 2020, the promise for the re-implementation of Australian Federal Police resources.
As soon as there's international flights, yes.
As to where the flights will be coming to and from,
The opportunities are boundless, really.
but Labor's certainly not in holiday mode.
This is not going to change anything that wouldn't have happened at Hobart Airport anyway.
Antarctic research hubs also on the agenda, with $450 million committed over the next 10 years for upgraded Antarctic infrastructure.
This is good news, clearly for Tasmanian businesses, local people in Hobart, but all around Tasmania.
The Commonwealth has already announced funding for more affordable housing and for roads and infrastructure.
On the eve of an election, for the Prime Minister to fly in for a few minutes and try and pretend that somehow he's got some great deal. I mean, it's been over 800 days in the making.
It has been a long journey, but it's been worth the wait.
Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
Premier Will Hodgman has confirmed he has written to the Tasmanian Police Commissioner following reports of historic sexual abuse allegations involving a sitting Tasmanian Liberal MP. A woman has alleged a current sitting MP abused her when she was a teenager.
It's a matter that I've referred to Tasmania Police to give consideration to it and take any appropriate action as is required, and that's what I expect will occur.
The woman also alleges in the Weekend Australian newspaper article that she contacted Tasmania Police regarding the matter in 2014, but heard back from the alleged perpetrator, not the police, the next day. Tasmania Police says it has no record of a complaint being made during that time period and has referred the woman to her local police station. A 52-year-old man remains in a critical condition at the Royal Hobart Hospital tonight following a quad bike crash late yesterday. 2 Westpac rescue helicopters were called to the scene near Glenora, where the man was treated and flown to Hobart for surgery. Tasmania Police says the man had failed to negotiate a right-hand turn and hit an embankment before being thrown from his vehicle. The man wasn't wearing a helmet, and early investigations suggest speed may have been a contributing factor. A Melbourne jockey has been taken to hospital after a horror fall at Tasmanian Oaks Day this afternoon. Dramatic footage shows Ryan Bishop coming off the horse during race 5 this afternoon. He was taken to the Launceston General Hospital, and the extent of his injuries is still unknown. It's expected an investigation will be launched by the Office of Racing Integrity. Tourism's Night of Nights is nearly here, with less than a week until Launceston hosts the country's national awards. There's no shortage of Tassie names vying for a trophy, but it's the event's stage that's raising eyebrows.
Looking to take a dip in the Cataract Gorge pool? Well, you're out of luck. This is the impressive stage set in its place.
This is the venue which, you know, a lot of people said maybe couldn't be done, but we wanted to do something that was really extraordinary and really memorable.
Come Friday, it will host more than 700 industry heavyweights in town for the Australian Tourism Awards. It's only the second time in 30 years the event has been held outside a capital city. Among those chasing accolades are local favourites like Festivali.
I think we can prove to the rest of the country that we can certainly hold our own, not only when it comes to events and festivals, but things like the AFL games down here.
And speaking of footy, even the Hawthorn Football Club is looking to boot a goal in the festivals category.
We were the first time a football club or any sporting club has ever been recognised in the Tourism Awards, so a bit of a trailblazer, and we're excited to represent Tasmania in that category.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Symphony Under the Stars has struck the right chord again this year, with more than 5,000 squeezing into Launceston's City Park last night. There were plenty of favourites from Tasmania's Symphony Orchestra, including Rossini's The Barber of Seville and other classics. The event was so popular this year, organisers say it was pushed to capacity. They once trained fighter pilots for the world's superpowers, but today they were a sight for Tasmania's aviation lovers. Nearly 20 aircraft were shining on the field today at Georgetown's aerodrome, including a handful of rare military planes.
A quiet morning in Georgetown? Think again. One by one, these classic military machines launch into the sky. They once trained pilots for Russia, China and Australia. Today they're delighting crowds at the aerodrome, giving passengers a history lesson with a thrill.
It's really great. Yeah, just the feeling and the formation flying, having the other plane so close to you is really awesome.
How does this compare to flying with Jetstar?
I don't know, I think I'd probably go with this instead of Jetstar. You don't get as good a service here though.
All three call Tasmania home, but finding one isn't as easy as going to the shops.
Well, this is a Russian military trainer. It was built in 1986 and I bought it in Lithuania about 10 years ago. Had it repainted, fitted up and everything else and shipped out to Tasmania.
And something like a Chinese Nanchang isn't exactly cheap to run.
Yeah, aircraft only fly due to the flow of $100 notes over the wings. To give you an idea, we burn 155 litres an hour of avgas on takeoff at $2.70 a litre.
Australia also represented in the sky with this Melbourne-made Windgeel.
It's a fantastic machine to fly. It's very stable. It's aerobatic if you want to do some aerobatics and that. It cruises along at a good speed, has a good range.
It's the 5th year the town's Rotary Club has run the Wings and Things Day. And with more than 1,500 wandering in, hopes are sky high it will stick around. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
2 big knocks from Matthew Wade and Charlie Wakeham has the Tasmanian Tigers in a strong position following day 2 of their Sheffield Shield clash with South Australia in Adelaide. The visitors were 3 for 238 at stumps a short time ago, just 19 runs shy of the Redbacks' first innings total. Starting the day with a clean slate, Silk quickly got to work chasing down the Redbacks' first innings total. Doolan doing his bit for the cause as the pair settled in. The home side's attack finally breaking through, with Silk sending it straight to mid-wicket on 33. His fellow opener following into the sheds just a few overs later. Wakeham and Wade forming their own formidable partnership to see the Tigers back on track, with the side skipper showing why he was named Domestic Player of the Year as he belted his way past 50. Wakeham then notching up his own half-ton in the same fashion. Wade's day eventually coming to an end, with the skipper's 77-run haul helping the Tigers into a strong position heading into day 3. Back home in South Hobart, Sandy Bay have claimed the 2019 Kookaburra Cup with a comfortable win over Lindisfarne at Blunston Arena. The Sharks putting on a 213-run stand, with Hamish Kingston the best of the order with 48. Simon Malenko doing the damage with the ball, taking 4 for 25 to see the side secure the title by 106 runs. Tasmanian sprinter Jack Hale has continued his solid start to 2019, with the 20-year-old winning the men's 100 metres event at the Sydney Track Classic overnight in a time of 10.35 seconds. Fellow Tasmanian Jacob Despard finishing in 3rd place, just 0.05 seconds behind Hale. Neither time was quick enough for a World Championship qualifier, but the pair will get more opportunities to run under the 10.10 second qualifying mark in the coming weeks. James Hansen and Stuart McSwain were among the other Tasmanians who performed well on the night, with Hansen crossing the line in third in the men's 1500 metres and McSwain finishing up in second place in the 5,000 metre event. Outsider Shady Hustle has upstaged the favourites to take out this afternoon's Tasmanian Oaks race in Launceston.
Shady Hustle puts the nose in front from Our Long Sally, and Shady Hustle pick up right for Bullet. He wins the Oaks. Shady Hustle wins.
The 3-year-old filly, trained out of Brighton by Stephen Lockhart, beating Our Long Sally and race favourite Rock Dove across the line and paying $31 for the win. Country's best badminton players have converged on Hobart for the Australian Open Championships and National Teams event. Competitors from each state will vie for national titles all week, with the event wrapping up next Saturday. And although it may not have the same visual appeal as the Big Bash or AFLX, badminton is actually the second most participated sport in the world, behind soccer. Well, it's being billed as the most exciting NPL season yet, with an extended 27-round fixture thanks to the addition of 2 new teams in Glenorchy Knights and Riverside. Players from each of the 9 clubs gathering in Hobart today to officially launch the 2019 season.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's been a couple of years out in the second division, so we feel like this is where we belong. So yeah, hope to prove ourselves.
We've had a couple pre-season games now, which we haven't been dominated, or we've kind of held our own for patches of play, which has been really good, and so just really looking to make sure we belong in the NPL. Is where we need to be.
The season kicks off this Friday night with a clash between 2 of the state's biggest rivals, Olympia and South Hobart, at Warrior Park.
24 degrees today in Hobart, Launceston a bit warmer, 25, and 20 degrees in Burnie and Devonport. 29 was the top temperature today at Scotts Peak, 28 for Ouse, Campania, Bushy Park and Medina all 27, 24 for Cressy and Strawn, 23 for the Bass Strait Islands, with 21 degrees at Smithton, St Helens and Sheffield. Blanket low cloud covering northern Tasmania today, slowly cleared for mostly fine conditions, and you can see low cloud further out over New South Wales, patchy cloud over the Northern Territory and Queensland, with a high band moving across WA. Tomorrow a cold front weakens as it approaches the state from the west, while the high moves south of the Bight, and there's several troughs dotted throughout the mainland. Northeast to northwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, 30 about the northwest and the southeast. Seas between 1 and 2 metres for the north and the south, 2 to 3 metres for other areas. There is a strong wind warning current for eastern coastal waters and northwestern coastal waters. Onto the forecast, a sunny 31 in Hobart, 29 for Dover with showers later and 33 for Ouse. A few clouds through the north, 27 in Launceston, 23 for Devonport, 26 at Scottsdale. 24 in Burnie, 27 in showers for Strawn, Stanley, 23 and sunny, with a hot and sunny day in the east, 26 for St Helens, 30 for Swansea and 28 at Ross. And the UV still remains very high. Showers on Tuesday in the west and also the south. Pretty fine conditions elsewhere. Fine for most parts on Wednesday. Just some drizzle later in the north after the cup, hopefully. And a fine day ahead for Thursday. Around Australia tomorrow, 35 degrees in Perth, 37 the top for Adelaide. Melbourne sunny and 33, 25 and cloudy in Sydney. Showers in Brisbane, 29 and 32 with storms for Darwin. And Rach, much like your shirt, the sun is still shining. 24 in Hobart, 22 in Launceston and 18 in Devonport. Back to you.
Thanks, Sam. I like to try and brighten things up around here. Well, that's all your news for this Sunday, the 24th of February. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Williams. See you tomorrow. Good night.